reason because was these third-party tournaments where they were grinding and improving. And this is now happening in South America. We're getting a lot of these grassroots tournaments where keyed stars, where also Thunder have been grinding, and we'll see. It's going to take a little bit, but this could be a region and some teams that can really grow up and potentially take some of those top spots in regards to Western Europe and the likes.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm really hoping to see? I'm hoping to see position 5 Venomancer come through for Jau, specifically because of the suffix to his name. The hashtag for Cuckoo. The Cuckoo Mancer has to be part of TI in some way.
Yeah, definitely just for Cuckoo. It's not for your own greed about liking.
Bro, I'm happy for the heroes that I'm good at to be buffed because they are quote-unquote trash. If I'm winning with them, that's all I care about.
I saw a little bit of buff from Wyvern. I also thought that hero might be played a little bit so far through...
I'm surprised it hasn't. Again, It's the percent damage. That's what you really want. And I think maybe it needs to be played as a 4 instead of a 5 these days, just because you need that little bit of extra farm to be able to get into that Aghanim Scepter. That's really the big difference maker for mine.
The battle begins.
It's definitely going to be an interesting hero as we move on towards, the road to the international. When we get to that main stage as well as how he's going to be played. I think we've seen the likes of Katomi on Entity really liking the position 4 went to Wyvern. So we shall see how that hero comes into play. But we do have lanes about through
Katomi.
Yes, he's quite the player indeed. So it'll be exciting to see how he's able to go on. Everyone as well. There's a lot of people you want to see have success at this TI. Unfortunately, there's only one that can come out on top, though.
I mean, success means different things for different people, though. Some would be happy enough just to be able to play in front of an international crowd as topside. Jau gone on a little bit by this early,
I think nautical
kill threat, but certainly can look to try and start clearing away a lot of these towers. You can see MidOne's putting a lot of attention onto that. Every single time that Quelling Blade comes off cooldown, as long as it doesn't disrupt his last hitting, he's going to be able looking to try and remove that laning threat from the map.
Dire's courier
Careful about these couriers, though.
There's one. Yum.
He's the one getting the business now. Ends up flopping him actually a little bit further.
This is not good at all for MidOne. Another blood grenade. Back to safety. Meanwhile, Jaunuel's pumping a decent amount of damage out into Matthew too. Wisper's got another out of the gush and a right click. It's not enough. MidOne. Dude, he's got no resources though.
Extra armor underneath the tower, and that means that courier kill is worth even more, right? It had a salve on it that Matthew was able to take from away from Jau. At least he's got 4 tangos to be able to play with. Might even end up planting one of his trees just to give MidOne that little bit longer duration.
Bottom lane. MC might be killed off as well. Arfu's going to trade blood grenades to maybe help MC be able to get back into the tree line. Also stacking up, so Pakazs has to think twice about this attempt.
Can't stay for too much longer, unfortunately. It's to back off. Again, EG, they're hoping for a slower game. They want this one to go to 40+ minutes. They want this PA to get absolutely out of control without losing too much of their map. The onus is on SMG. He's for the start, though. See Smiley's having a pretty good time in that mid lane. I know it's only 2 or so minutes in, but he opened up about a 200 or so net worth lead over no one.
And you feel like all eyes are going to be on no one with your playmaking potential early on to make sure we don't get to that late game for EG?
I suppose so, but again, I understand the issue that you were having. More prominent for EG, of course, but it's not like they're have overwhelming damage for SMG either, right? You can make a rotation towards the Keeper of the Light and, with an Illuminate plus a Chakra Magic onto the Pango, end up taking out a hero. If it's the PA, even better. But still, what you can do beyond that is still not quite so simple, right? They don't have that great tower taking potential themselves.
Yes, that's going to be kind of the biggest issue in how you're able to convert these kills into objectives. I do think, Jaunuel gets off to a good start. We've seen in the qualifiers for us when we were casting the China qualifiers with the lack of Ice on the on the 4 Bat Rider, he was able to have a lot of impact. So Jau can somehow get some farm, then we can see what he can do. Maybe MidOne as well with that second nighttime could get active depending on when his items are going to be.
Might even see some old school Treant Meteor Hammer come through as well from Matthew just to provide them that little bit of extra pushing potential. For now, not even just focusing on the tower pushing, just focused on surviving, focused on not giving up too much net worth over to SMG on Wisper. He's got the phase boots first before considering even starting to build into something like Hammer.
Precious bounty.
Everyone seems very happy with the start though. So no one having to TP back to mid after being able to get that bounty rune to refill some of the bottle sips. Orb corrosion completed. The water rune as well for him to pick up. So not going to have any attention until maybe a minute 30 with some of the support starting to rotate. Any stacks as well. There is a double at the hard camp created from the Coddle, but Ancients has been blocked from EG.
You have to say though that, like we were saying before during the draft, is SMG by far who have the more suitable supports for being able to make these rotations towards the mid lane. It's eventually going to get to the point where MidOne, if he can get to level 6, then you'll obviously have to potentially stay in the lane. It's going to become nighttime as well, so you know when the ganks are coming before EG are able to make it happen. They might actually make it happen themselves.
Matthew getting burnt out at the moment. Nature's Grass though proving to be a really big issue from Jaunuel to keep on to Matthew. But the pounce of the mark as well. I think he's going to be okay for the moment.
Don't even think about it.
Although what a nice lane for him, already up into the Vanguard, and that's where Panda able to body block up one of those camps. Yeah, nicely done, as the Observer Ward is just about to expire as well, so after we need to have a sentry and immediately deward it, not going to be able to do so.
Ooh.
Actually ends up placing one down right at the end. Let's see if they were watching it. Might not have been. You could just leave MC on his own down here. Honestly, there isn't too much threat of being able to take him out, and we'll see.
Yeah, actually, is it kill threat? Because Pakazs has gone down the Orb Corrosion route.
MC, look at that. He's like, I think he's a little frustrated that the cart ended up doing that. The creep was perfectly placed in outside of tower range, and because it just decided to move on forward, it's not going to be able to keep the siege creep alive.
MidOne top lane's going to be in some trouble. Oh, nice timing out of the pounce. Just gets away. That nighttime vision coming into play there for the Slark. So first rotation from the mid lane, sees Smile. Didn't have a power rune to use, and unfortunately wasn't able to get the kill. Now, meanwhile, we've got a couple back and forths going on through the portal. Panda will run straight to Jaunuel, and I think this is more than likely going to be our first blood. Unless he somehow gets denied, and that's not going to be the case. Arthur claims the reward. Meanwhile, back over to the northern side as well. No one in MidOne. Should be able to catch up to Matthew as well. So one perma Agi here for the Slark. Gets involved early with the use of the Rolling Thunder.
This should make my life easier.
Not enough taking out the tier 1 tower bottom, but it's already at half HP. Mind Control did a great job of just using his body. Obviously a lot tankier with the Ring of Protection plus the Vanguard, that he's happy enough to do that.
Haste!
Would have loved if he had the full creep wave hitting into that tower unopposed.
I didn't see Smile. This time he's got a haste. Again, MidOne's able to duck into the trees. They won't fight him. Very nicely done, Slark. Put himself in a bit of an awkward position, but see Smile's going to run all the way around and won't get him. Good job.
Nice. Yeah, he's hunting around for hoping for the Wisdom Rune. Don't think he'll be able to claim it, but I mean, if you're taking away 3 people, you're generally okay with this. At least it's going to be C-Smile picking that one up, and going to be Arthur making sure to secure SMG's own while making some stacks. Not like they're suffering too much. Again, you're wanting a not passive early game, but they don't exactly have too much kill credit until you've got like level 6 on SMG. Then, you know, you've got that Bristleback available, you've got the Warpath available, you've got the Slark able to go for dives.
Oh, MidOne.
Yeah, and a nice pounce.
Are they gonna keep chasing MidOne?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Simultaneously, we see SMG, their own little play across the map. They're going to be too late to catch up to anyone, though, because it's gone through the portal, climbing up towards his top side, where the rest of the team is. MidOne will run into him shortly.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They're not going to stop there. Panda, drops the one in the cliff. Pakazs jumps over the top. It's going to be a kill onto the Slark, and in fact, it's Wisper that claims it as well with the gush. So nicely done, because dodges the gank down bottom, gets involved as well. They do have to be cautious though, SMG. We're going to buy back coming through the portal.
I was about to compliment MidOne. I think the big difference from him from, you know, times past is that he puts so much more value onto his life. You know, he's not going for these super deep dives, but he just stayed around far too long without the level 6 and really heavily punished him. You know, obviously maybe feeling a little bit more confident with that Mighty Mind buff.
Quickly getting this kill. Too much of the way though. Doesn't get knocked to the high ground. Again doesn't get knocked. No one though. Oh, that's so good. Trying to predict the knock to the high ground. That doesn't get the shield crash mitigation as well as MC is too late. So they take the stack. They get the kill. They waste the rolling thunder. Once again, see Smile now 2 kills in the name of the Conquer. This tower's going to take a little bit of damage with the remnants of the double damage rune.
Very nicely done by them.
Dire's
One at
middle
least he's been
tower
able to
is
pick
under
up his level
attack.
6. And something else I want to point out, I was talking about Meteor Hammer all this time for Wisper, but he's gone straight into the Aghanim Scepter. I mean, makes a lot of sense, right? You got Battle Fury coming up for the PA. You've got a Kunkka as well, so that Tidebringer Cleave is just going to be doing so much damage, and it even provides you the ability to potentially kite out a lot of these team
Radiant's
fights a
middle
lot more
tower is
effectively.
under
Maybe we
attack.
even see a 10% Gush Slow at level 10 talent instead of the Anchor Smash.
He's going to run into mind control with Jaunuel nearby.
Radiant structures are
Be able to get the
fortified.
kill though. TPs are starting to come out, and this Bristleback is not at the stage where he's unkillable. Not with every single member from Evil Geniuses. The Ravage clips onto 2. Whisper's got the double, and now C-Smile is here for the cleanup as well. A little bit awkward with the spell casting,
Radiant's middle
but
tower
nonetheless,
is under
they'll
attack.
catch up to the Batrider. As EG, 5 members required, but they're able to kill off 3 from SMG.
Exactly what you want, right? Like SMG, this is their timing to be able to make sorts of plays. No, not quite yet level
Radiant's
6,
top
so maybe they
tower
were
is under
a little bit too aggressive with a lot of their positioning, but it's understandable considering how farmed Mind Control was on that Bristleback. But every one of these deaths just creates so much more space for Pakazs on his PA. Now he's picked up that Cornucopia, he's got a little bit more sustain and damage for farming, and yeah, can't let this one get late if you're
Dire's
SMG.
middle tower is under attack.
What are we hoping out of MidOne in regards to his item build this game? You know, he's got the Diffuser Blade currently queued up, but we're going to see the Echo afterwards, because you know, I'm kind of looking at the PA and how he wants to address this hero. If Silver's Edge is something he's considering, MKB is like 4th, 5th item. What are we wanting out of this lock?
I mean, I'm wanting a Silver Edge, but I feel like it's one of those cases where if you get it and you don't get a bunch of kills, then you feel horrible about it all. But it's really a balancing act, right? Because if you go the Echo Saber and PA continues to have a pretty decent start to the game, then you know that you're not going to farm at the same speed as the PA does. You might be a whole lot more enabled around the map at consistent times, but you're just not going to be able to keep up. And it's like, maybe if PA gets dumpstered, you can afford to go the Echo Saber, but if you get his part of a couple more kills, then I think you need to maybe go into the Silver Edge route and just bank on your team being able to
Dire's
find
top
one of those
tower
quick
has
kills.
been denied.
Again, though, like you mentioned a lot, that this game, AG wanting to try and get towards the later stages and being able to take that top tower, continue to slow the game down. And maybe able to get a kill mid lane as well. Jaunuel, drag back with the boat. Sismar's going to be rewarded off the back of this as well. They're going to make it work for it. No one's starting to move on over. Oh, great use of the ultimate. Swapping in the overgrowth. No one. Not going to get a whole lot of value out of the Rolling Thunder. We'll still bounce back onto Panda. Oh, misses as well with the swashbuckle. So, yeah, kill onto Jaunuel. They
Radiant's
force some
bottom
rotations.
tower is under
And
attack.
SMG unable to convert.
A couple of times now that he's been a bit off the mark there with the swashbuckle on no one. Certainly when I think no one, I don't necessarily think the Pangolier. I think more spirit style heroes. Maybe the Invoker, the Puck, Wop. No, not so much.
He's enabled though with this Kodo. He might also be under a little bit of danger. Pakazs and Panda scouting out the Pingo. Meanwhile, down to the south, once again, mind control. No boys behind him, so they're going to be able to get the kill onto the Bristleback. He'll make him work for it with the wand. His quills are starting to stack up, so they'll have to respect the Bristleback and his potential, maybe find some turn kills. Looks like nonetheless, though, they'll be able to bring Kim down. They do need everyone nearby to kind of help out, so still, I guess, you're okay with that? I mean, MidOne's getting farm up top. You see Jaunuel as well with the Batrider also getting a little bit. Never mind.
Generally, no. I mean, the thing is, again, like, you just have to consider what you're giving up. And this is a game that was set up for Mind Control to be the one that's enabled to get a lot of this farm. So I like the fact that they're responding to it. They recognize that they don't exactly have a mid-game bristleback killer, so you got to kill him while you can in the early game. This is not what MidOne wants to be doing. He doesn't want to be hitting a tier 1 tower.
I don't.
Not a force.
They are not going to win this fight if EG bring multiple members. Wisper's got the rabbit to the ready. You've got the boat as well, and you see the read's going to be there. Or is it? MidOne actually wants to charge in forward.
I don't know.
Starting to feast onto the backline support, potentially getting the kill onto Panda, but the Ravage will protect him. And MidOne, he's got no one here. He's got the ulti to work with, jumps over the top as well, gets the kill and now gets some separation. No one might be forced to use the Rolling Thunder as well. Defense, in fact, in the turn, they see an opportunity to chase down C-Smart, but the overgrowth is perfect. Matthew enables them to turn it back around as C-Smart. He'll stay alive momentarily. No one tries to snipe him over the top. He'll get the last right click, but of course, he'll still go down, and nonetheless, Pakazs is here to clean up.
Top tower is
And he
under
cleans
attack.
up a killing spree as well, so very well worth his rotation towards that side of the map. It was a really ballsy dive, like you mentioned, with that Ravage available, with the overgrowth, you just don't feel the same level of effectiveness coming out from this Pangolier. He's going into the Aghanim Scepter, but I have to wonder if he's asking for someone of his team to go into something like a Lotus for himself.
Agshot still dispels, right? I think this is also something you might be considering. I don't know if I would imagine it's a bit early on, but something you definitely need to be thinking about. 5 MC.
Replay, yeah, replay is getting MC, excuse me, is getting dived up here.
This time he's got the boys though, and it is that second nighttime that MidOne's looking to fight. Should be able to close the distance onto Matthew. This is really the window where SMG need to start playing aggressively.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
At least they have. And that's the thing. You want to make sure that you're taking out this Dream Protector. He recognizes that they don't exactly have the strongest tower push. That's why he's only got the 1 point in the living armor for right now. It can end up biting you on the ass if you just end up surviving longer against the Slark with one of these heroes that isn't all that effective, right? Just enabling him to pick up a lot of those Essence Shift stacks, and good rotation from Mind Control as well to be able to take away a lot of these stacks that Pakazs was hoping to be able to pick up.
Again, without a doubt, this is the time where SMG need to start to build the lead. Battle Fury is not enough from Pakazs. If you're able to sweep across the map, look at the wards they've placed as well. Like really aggressive in the triangle between the tier 1 and tier 2 top. And they are going to do whatever they can just to roam, sweep, go from top to mid to bottom, and continue to repeat that, especially knowing that EG are cooldown reliant with Ravage and Overgrowth, which are back up though. So this can be scary if you don't execute perfectly. They will, never mind, they don't get Matthew.
Do keep their ward up though. Sure, they're going to try and de-ward that as much as possible. As another tier 2 dive.
Swap in Wisper. Out of position where he might be able to land the Ravage. A lot of damage onto the Bristleback, and they're going to be able to confirm the kill though for Star. But it's an overgrowth once again onto 3. Nemo, no one in MidOne. They're trying to deal with Pakazs, but it means they're not protecting their supports as Jaunuel will now be chased down. And that strong window from SMG continuing to be stalled once EG are able to play with their ultimates.
Just did so much kiting around, right? The boat hit onto the Bristleback. You had the torrent hitting onto him as well. He was slowed down. He had minus armor on top of him. Everything just stopping the Bristleback from moving forward. And Mind Control even had the Voodoo Mask in his backpack as well instead of the wand. So he wasn't even able to lifesteal. He took like 13 seconds to die, so it's not like it was a quick death.
Dude, Matthew's overgrowth this game have been incredible. I mean, just that jump in. And we're just seeing how difficult it is for them to be able to deal with all these AoE spells that EG are working with. And I wonder how different that fight would look. Just to hold that thought, maybe MidOne trying to get Matthew, but Korean's already okay.
It's cat and mouse right now, right? They're just trying to stay away from this Slark while baiting him into not farming or not taking objectives. You've also got a Dream Protector, right, who now has put the second point into the living armor, so you know, can take off no one. Right. See him. Like at nighttime.
You going for it? Dude, this
is the time.
And no Ravage as well. This is super deep. It is the boys. Is there going to be enough health coming back? It's not. MidOne blown up. And now Arthur as well. There's no escape for the poor Cod, who is just here to try and protect his carry. Panda here will give another kill over towards Evil Geniuses, and meanwhile, because this Phantom Assassin is going uncontested on the opposite side of the map.
Yeah, 2-0 and 6, almost finished up into his Desolator as well. Probably just looking to play around the next minute or so, right? As soon as it... Oh, no,
Gonna get a free kill.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not long enough.
Yeah, they're just playing for the next minute, basically. Like, you'll have Desolator completed, it'll be daytime, Roshan will be on your side of the map, you've got Minus Armor as well, you've got a Solar Crest on Panda, like, they have all of the tools that they need to be able to take this and just continue to play for the next 5 minutes, and isn't that kind of fitting? That's around the Aegis duration on the Dire side of the map. Been having a 4-staff now on the Treant, so you've got even more survivability against this Slark. You can kite away from the Bristleback, you can kite away from the Rolling Thunder, even if you Diffuser Bladed up. He's got the Water Park available as well.
This build's a little bit interesting from Mind Control. Hope I'll actually see smile. We're going to try and instill a little bit of essence before our fire breaks out, but MidOne in some danger again. This Conquer X, such an issue for the Slark, and you're going to have to pop the ulti early on. It's one thing is C-Smile doesn't have the greatest mana pool, and no one's going to jump in the middle. But SMG are in two minds. No one wants to fight, but the rest of Dire want to get out. MidOne's starting to get some health back. It won't continue on.
Cheeky little attempt there. You went for the swap from Panda onto Matthew. He could have overgrowth there to be able to land onto the Slark as well as the Pango.
Damage out early on. Darkback, he's going to be in the nick of time. Magic Missile still connects from the low ground. They get another kill as the lasso is too late. MidOne playing with fire, and Pakazs is here with a Desolator completed. Let's see if they'll be able to deal with Mind Control. Maybe they go from everyone else. So, Fu stuck in the river. Gush connects. No one's starting to come back over. Again, they need to leave the Bristleback to a last, because we see what can happen once Mind Control's damage does come out. So Water Park is there from C-Small, but this is starting to look a little bit awkward from EG.
Yeah, he just needs to be acting as that bodyguard, and he's going to continue to do so, allowing a late retreat away from EG. Nicely done by them. Not giving up a single hero, and once again getting multiple in return. He's even lucked out in being able to secure the Vampire Fangs for himself on the PA, so doesn't even need to go any sort of lifesteal. He's already back up to full. See how much you're able to do as well on the Tide Hunter. One of the better answers. I mean, traditionally it was like Slark counters you, but mid-game, as long as you get the dead in the water, Slark has a horrible time, right? He is all about, especially with this Aghanim Scepter, mobility. Jumping onto the supports, bursting them down, not being kiteable. Well, suddenly you are very much kiteable.
This is pretty big, though.
It is. It's a really big call by them, and a smart one as well.
Looks like they're going to get it too. Ultimate's on cooldown. Really good ward set up in case a fight breaks out. Scan will come out, but it's too late, unfortunately, for EG to contest this. So, who do you give the Aegis to? Is it MidOne?
Yeah, I personally would look to give it to him. Like you picked a Slark because you're going for a dive comp, right? And at the moment, the dives have resulted in his death a fair few times. So it's really just about getting into that next item, the Echo Saber, and then what can you do with it, right? Like you need to make sure that you're getting this next item, securing your farm, and not allowing the PA to get any more big than she currently is. Being the PA, she might be coming up here to help.
Yeah, MidOne's in a lot of danger, but using all these pounce charges. One's back up.
Is under attack.
Cast rate.
Oh, the hero's cool, man. Nerf Scepter, but we'll still see late game potentially what he can do, especially with being 3-0 and 6 and having a flawless game so far.
Still hunting. Be a little bit careful, of course, seeing the creeps disappear next to him on MidOne. Provide him with a little bit of understanding.
With this Scepter Bloodstone, but very shortly Pakazs is going to have this Aghanim Shard, and once you have the Fan and Knives, then there is definitely potential for MC to be able to get blown up inside these fights.
I think they've got about a minute or so once you finish up. You've got the Bloodstone now finished up by MC. I feel like you
away from the team.
Yeah, but you needed to get the Echo, that's the thing. should be able to get it slightly, maybe not. Like him and PA will have their items at around the same sort of time.
Regeneration.
So not making the best use out of this Aegis right now. Again, this is just a remnant of what happened in the early game at EG's really good job at being able to counter out some of the moves that, I don't want to say they were obvious, but they knew exactly what SMG game plan was, right? Yep. You know that you can't go late game against a PA.
I get to that stage, both sides are hitting their timings. Maybe EG look to try and smoke as well, so we do have the blink dagger completed for Wisper. He could be the one who wants to look to start with the Ravage, with the flow, with the dead in the water as well. Again, they're playing pretty separate though from SMG. MidOne is not with the boys. This ward's going to give them so much information, and Wisper can utilize it perfectly. And look at the follow-up. Evil Geniuses playing too, and they don't even sweat.
Dire's middle
they know the Slark's not ready. That's the thing. Like, if they're not making plays on them, doesn't matter if it's daytime or not, because Slark still needs to farm and a little bit. I think he actually went for the Depth Shroud instead, so that's even going to delay the Echo Saber timing even further. TP'd on down on this bottom side. It's fine. It's really just to make sure that not too much of their map control gets removed during this point.
Hands up. It's difficult.
Yeah.
Dire's middle tower.
A difficult game so far from SMG. What they're able to do though, Ravage on cooldown. Everyone's starting to move down bottom as MidOne's going to start early on. As soon as the X is out, it starts to get a little bit awkward for the Slark. They'll poke and prod, trying to deal with the first life. Meanwhile, but just blows up the cuddle. Now he's got the Ag Shark to work with as well, but it's an early use of the Fan of Knives. It's not going to matter though, as they won't protect MidOne. H is taken care of. Look at them just setting up around their observers behind the cliff, but Pakazs gets another kill and he's not done, man. No one's in, but is it too little too late? As now they'll turn the Wisper back. The Torrent Storm is out. It's an ultra kill for Pakazs, and he's at the stage. Well, I don't think they can deal with him at all. Pakazs 8-0-7 is EG. They're going to try and continue to chase no one. They've got this high ground ward, but be able to get some distance away. But it's over, is it?
I think it's over. Like 8,500 damage done by Pakazs in that single fight. He's already got 16 charges on that Desolator. Like increasing his damage even further at this point. He's going to be level 20 in not too much time at all. Even more difficult for SMG to be able to contest into. Might look to try and go for maybe a cheeky wraparound behind, but I think he's happy enough just to be able to take away a lot of this farm. And you see the effectiveness of the Dead in the Water, of that AoE gush coming through. Really just enabling these quick pickups. Like it was 3 hits from a Slark, 100 to 0.
Yeah, what the hell? Is that the stage now where what are you gonna do? How are you gonna find a way back in here for SMG?
I have to wonder how much of the neutral item RNG was a factor as well, right? Like, because you're going up against a PA and a Kunkka. I would have to say Gossamer Cape gives you pretty good value against both of those, and I see 0.
No way.
Side.
Oh, Matthew, are you serious? They're still hunting. They're still hunting.
Midas as well on the tree. Why not?
Philosopher's Stone too. He's only 3,000 gold behind MidOne. This has not been... Slark has always been one of his better carry heroes, but it's also something in regards to his play style and overall, like, he plays a very fine line of, you know, maybe too far or not far enough. In this game, actually a little bit too far. Bottom of the Pakazs.
Gotta be perfect.
Control before the BKB and meanwhile Panda. It's just perfect positioning. Again, he blows up MidOne. They'll get the return kill onto the Venge, but now he's got another target to be able to jump away, and he might even go back in. MC is a different beast, so this Bristleback's not easy to be able to blow up. They'll need the Fan and Knives if they want to consider it.
You know you're going up against a Ravage and an Overgrowth and a Death in the Water though.
Poking, dude. Trying to force some reactions out. Now Wisper's going to jump behind him with the Ravage, hoping he clips multiple members, and he does. All 4 get caught by Wisper's ultimate. Pakazs again. Beyond godlike for the Phantom Assassin. Jaunuel can hide under the glimmer of the Fireflies, a bit of a beacon of where you're moving. It will not matter those. They do not care about him. Towers, it's the only thing on their mind currently.
Has fallen.
Got a heart to be able to play around with as well, so you thought it was hard to be able to take out heroes before. Well, now it's just so much more difficult. Like, they just don't have the tools for that perfect 100 to 0 kill threat. I mean, I really don't feel like we've seen a single, like, lasso usage in combination together with everything else, you know? Like, you can't use the perfect Rolling Thunder anymore. They changed that. You're always going to be able to have that ability to be able to pop the BKB, even without the Venge Swap. But Panda, his positioning, like you mentioned, has just been on point all game. Both supports by EG, honestly.
Radiant's
Oh, they've had
courier
a
has been killed.
phenomenal game. That is nice. Corey sniping at the gem. Something. SMG's away, but it might be too little too late, unfortunately for them. As EG just continue to get whatever farm they want. They do spy out Matthew, who also again somehow escapes.
Technically good hero.
Oh yeah, definitely needed maybe a little bit more nurse and what he got in the recent patch, and that's what Matthew's able to do with it. Very impressed with, yeah, like you said, support so far, what they've done this game. So
Man, MidOne has just completely gone away from the Echo Saber. His item progression has been basically nothing ever since the past, like, 5-10 minutes. He's going into a Silver Age instead, wanting to make sure that he can take out that Tide Hunter. He wants the Dead in the Water to not be a factor.
you go the Scepter on Pakazs, very interesting.
It's still good, man. He's just 100 to 0ing people.
Let's see if that dispels any value. I mean, a little bit this game. Can you get the quills? No, you can't. Maybe just the Bat Rider, blinding light, a little bit frustrating. Of course, it still has all the other bonuses as well, just not as strong as before. We have Roche up in 40 seconds as well, so EG is starting to move down bottom to try and get some vision set up inside the area for this Roche fight. They might even get Jaunuel too. Just able to catch up to him. And the rest of EG is shortly there to follow as well. So Rider's going to be dead for a decent chunk of time, which will mean there will be no fight for Roche if EG scouted out straight away.
I don't think there's too much reason for them to leave the general vicinity, right? Like, this is what you picked your draft for. You made sure to go a lot of this minus armor so that you can secure a lot of these Roshans, and pretty quick that they're able to take it out. And that'll be the cheese as well. So who do you can give that one over to? I don't think these Vile is killable.
Oh my god. MidOne. Still right clicking because I hope there's no vision there. Fine with the Shadow Blade.
Who do you even give the cheese over to if you're EG, honestly? Maybe Pakazs? Just give him the, like, third life?
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe just the Tide or Conquer in case they don't have Manaka's Diffusal.
Yeah.
I know
they don't need help.
No, not at all. Not at all, dude. They are almost unkillable as smoke from SMG. Late, unfortunately for them. He just gets claim. EG, they're gonna use their own smoke as well. It's a call SMG.
Get out of there. Get to the other side of the map. Shove in lanes. Pakazs has to be a little careful of sticking around for too long, especially with people not revealing on the map for this portion of time.
Yeah, I hate
out though. The fact that the map is pushed in and
he kept his in the backpack. Alright, they might be able to deal with it first life. Everyone else is so far away from the rift.
the long TP,
They're gonna start to TP in at least Whispers first so we can use the Ravage to buy some time. The car's confirmed, the stun is there preventing the BKB, but once he gets it off, how are you gonna be able to address him? As you killed him the once, but I tell you what, there is no chance you get him a second time as EG show up in full force. It'll take some time to deal with mind control, especially with the Panda knives on cooldown. But a slow and painful death it'll be for the Blister back. They'll drag him back inside the lane because he's got that break back up now. A big crit to shut him down. And Arthur will join every single member in the grave.
they're not going to tap out. They feel like they are able to find a way to be able to fight for this, but they can never find that true initiation that they're wanting. Was able to hold all the cooldowns for the second life, give enough space for the entire team to be able to TP in. Even that long 6-second TP, it's plenty when you've got that Aegis available. And consider the alternative. Maybe the Rolling Thunder needed to start a little earlier. Maybe it needed to just be looking to try and roll back and forth over the outpost. But if you do that, then where's the control for the PA, you know? So much just to be able to take out the first life. Crystal Blade now. What are you supposed to do?
Dire's middle
Fire.
tower is under attack.
Ah, yes.
This is what the value of having that last pick overall. This is what you want to see coming out from a team.
Especially for Pakazs, right? I mean, giving him last pick, he does have a very, very wide hero pool. So, you have to use it incredibly well.
Peek around TI time as well, doesn't he?
He's a scary carry, dude. Something when the stakes get a little bit high and something you would not say for a lot of people that aren't really because they have a lot of experience. I know he's hit the same big last TI, but nothing if you look towards the mind control, four times TI veteran, your MidOne, 4 times TI veteran as well. But I mean, that doesn't matter when the stakes get too high when you're looking into 1 TI for Pakazs.
Almost level 25 as well.
Dire's middle
Crazy
tower is
how
under
much
attack.
impact he's having so far, and even looking to go into a Lincoln Sphere after this as well, just making sure to take out any sort of initiation attempt on
Mind control? You're just not at the stage anymore where you can play like
Dire's
that.
middle
Not with the
tower
farm
has
that Pakazs has got. I mean, you get a kill on
Dire's
Matthew.
top tower is under
Across the
attack.
map, but that's a kill on the court. You get a T2 tower.
It's something, right? Like, what's he got coming out to him now? He's got the full Silver Edge. Okay, I mean, it does allow you to have a lot more of that roaming potential. It's also just about to turn nighttime. You've also got the Wisdom Root
Radiant's
available.
bottom tower is under attack.
Honestly, like, either Mind Control or MidOne claiming it wouldn't be the worst, just to bring them up to that level 20 mark. Big boost, especially from the Aghanim Scepter build on the Bristleback, if you're able to get that plus 25 core stack damage through.
MidOne instantly starting to set up onto a bottom lane. Car's gonna reveal with the pistol and yeah, very cool. Very, very cool.
I mean, to be fair, it was pretty far forward there.
It was, but...
right in front of a tower, solo. I mean, if you asked me to, like, pick a MidOne hero, Slark would be at the top of the list.
Yes. Unfortunately, 8 deaths here for MidOne. The game that he was hoping for at all, and AG start to steamroll down some of the lanes as well. Hero the vision, put themselves in a position where they can look to go higher. And I guess always that is one of the critiques about your Phantom Assassin is that you do struggle with high gun sieges, but not if everyone is dead, and not really if you have a 23,000 net worth lead as well.
And a swap to be able to get you out of safety. You can even just X marks the PA, right? Make a hit a few times. If you get going on, pull it back.
Or Conquer with 4,200 health can siege. Along with a tide right next to as well.
Shiva's Blade Mail, Gem.
Top tower is under attack.
Test that. Spoiler alert. You're not.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Pakazs still wants a little bit more. He realizes that, you know what, the one thing that probably will stop him from winning is just a big lasso back underneath the tier 4 tower and getting blown up before he's able to pop his BKB. He needs that linkage. He's not even willing to use the X marks to be able to finish off that tier 3 tower. So taking it safe, he realizes what a big stage this is, especially with the past couple of months that G have had. The strongest timings.
In the middle of multiple SMG members, Blur's gonna pop. Over to the left side inside the river though, I mean, we just saw Pakazs hasn't been able to get the kill just yet, and now no one's able to roll in sun. That BKB activated along with the overgrowth. It means Pakazs should freely be able to turn and kill off no one. Doesn't get the full control out of the overgrowth, actually still held it from Matthew, so that's his second ulti hit required as Wisper jumps in with a Ravage, and the AoE control is just too much. Almost every single member of EG have some big teamfight ultimate that can come into play, and you look at SMG, they do not, and so far AG, I mean, just no one dies once again.
It's just another one of those instances, right, where unfortunately they're not able to fully connect. I mean, Pakazs was caught in no man's land, and then you end up using a lasso and the Rolling Thunder onto him. Once again, Matthew, fantastic positioning with being able to just force stuff in, get the overgrowth off, make sure that that Pangolier does absolutely nothing. But yeah, the Slark not being there, the Bristleback not being there, you just are completely lacking the damage to be able to make the most of that lockdown.
We shall not tap out though, my friend.
Dire's structures are fortified.
3,000 net worth lead, 38 minutes.
2% win probability somehow, I'm not sure how.
I see 5, hang on, is mine not updated? Oh no, it's fine, yeah. That is up next.
Dire's bottom barracks.
I mean, you look at it back at what was it, like 16 minutes? It was about 50-50, which is where it was at that time. It's just that EG took these fights so much better. Like, it really is the supports that got them
Dire's
through that
middle
difficult
tower
part of
is
this
under
game.
attack.
Because he might find another, might get picked up though.
Also just gets a first hit bash as well. And he's going to jump over to deal with the Coddle. He's got to buy back. Matthew will be able to jump in and onto the control, which means Pakazs should be able to freely siege down some of the members. You got the Torrent Storm enabling the Phantom Assassin to go to work. And they can try and cover themselves with any of their items, but it's just not enough. Triple kill, looking for the Rampage. Unfortunately, Wisper, I mean, the Ultra was still needed nonetheless. He's happy with going 21 0 and 10, a flawless performance out of Pakazs, and EG as a whole look incredibly dominant in this game one.
They did.